when I did work at David Adams the first time, I did have the privilege to do 2 nationals, working just as part of the David Adams booth, just, you know, selling stuff and talking to people. I did one in Chicago, and I actually did one in Atlantic City. So it was almost a homecoming type of situation.
I'm back, boys.
Daddy's home. So 2 words that you shouldn't. 2 words you shouldn't utter in Atlantic City. I'll tell you that much right now. So it was one of those things where they're like, well, we want to bring it down to the national. So let me tell you too. We took that entire studio, broke it down, built it up, broke it down, built it up, and it ain't no easy ride. Like that trust is difficult. But I had known what nationals were before, and they were crazy back then, right? Atlantic City, not as much. What you'll see with the national is it's always successful when it's in Chicago. Why? Because it's Midwest. So you're getting the people from the East Coast, you're getting people from the West Coast, and then you're getting the people, obviously, there. Everybody's coming in for this thing. People take their vacations around this thing. Because that's the thing, too, is people might think it's just like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. If you're a VIP and you spend a lot of money in this, you're there Wednesday. So you're there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You get like first
dibs.
First look at
First look. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they do is if you're a super VIP or a VIP, you get a lanyard, you get the tag, and you get in for like a preview night.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the actual show itself. And that's the crazy part to me that people don't understand is like they do, like, you know, some people take their families to Disney World, right? There are families that literally will go to these cities just to do the national for the week with their family. So I had seen it before the card boom, right? So it was crazy. But I'll tell you right now, this second time around, I was just like, I was walking around just like, oh my God. Because it is. It's like, it's way different. In the best way possible, though. To me, there's a lot more pomp and circumstance that there used to be around it. Because you're seeing all these companies. eBay's got this huge display and huge booth, and you know, Beckett's got this big one. PSA. There's a streaming platform that's really made for cards and card breaking called Whatnot. Whatnot did this whole thing where they made it look like the Atlantic City Boardwalk, and they had games people were playing. Like they were building this thing, just these huge displays. So it's just amazing. It's a spectacle. And it's a thing, too, where now it's not that it wasn't before, but it's a very all-inclusive thing. Men, women, children, anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, anything. There's just all walks of life there. And it was crazy. Crazy. But I'll tell you right now, it was probably one of the most rewarding things I've done since I've been back. You know? It just... I met so many different people that had great stories, but on top of that too, we had a chance to sit down and do interviews or just, you know, off camera, you know, meet a lot of influencers. Because that's the thing. Believe it or not, you see influencers, you know, you see influencers in the wild all over the place. The hobby has influencers. They're these people that just crank out content on their Instagram and that, but also do breaks and big breaks, big money breaks, or different things of that nature, and they're huge in that space. And I'll tell you right now, the hobby is one of those things that I think nobody really had an ego. You know, there wasn't anybody that I met that was like, well, I have more files than you, I'm better than you.
I'm not going
like,
to sit down with you and have this conversation kind of thing.
Everybody was like, no, dude, like, tell me when. I'll totally sit down with you guys, right? And I made so many connections that way that now, and that was the big thing for me, is I wanted to pass out our cards. I wanted to tell people about the Chase. I mean, we had people like, you guys know Gary V? You guys aware of Gary V,
yeah.
right? He was walking around. He stopped and, like, looked at our set. And I think he had one of his umpteen people following him around, like, take a little snippet, a little video of our set. You know? He winked at me. No big deal. I'm just saying. Just saying. But like Gary Vee and like, you know, other people that are big in that hobby space were stopping by, and you know, we had so many compliments that were like, wow, your setup is great. You know, what you guys are doing is great. And it goes a long way because, you know, obviously use is not the right terminology, but I want to make these connections and have these people back on the show and recurring guests and keep doing different content with them. It doesn't even have to be on The Chase. I think there's great opportunity for collaboration in some form. But it was just so rewarding. I felt like I went home with, you know, so many new friends and things like that. And I feel like one thing summed it up for me on the way home, where it was like, I just spent this whole week in Atlantic City doing this show on Twitch, interviewing NBA Hall of Famers, and, you know, getting this exposure for our show and for our company, and, you know, hopefully going to build our audience, build our viewership, and, you know, build these friendships and connections. And then I got home on Sunday at like 8:30, and I'm just crushing a Wegman sub in my Pier 1 import furniture. I'm just Troy LeCastro again, who lives in North Buffalo.